Three names that send shivers down the spine: Ted Bundy, Jack the Ripper, and Jeffrey Dahmer. Decades apart, different methods, but one terrifying similarity: the ability to hide in plain sight while committing some of the most infamous crimes in history. In this deep dive, we will pull back the layers of these three notorious figures, examine their crimes, their psychology, and the chilling reasons why they continue to haunt us today. At the end, I want to hear from you. Which of these names do you think is the most terrifying? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Ted Bundy looked like the last person you would suspect. Handsome, charismatic, and intelligent, he was a law student with a bright future. But behind that charming smile was a predator. Bundy's crimes began in the early 1970s and spanned multiple states, making him one of America's first truly recognized serial killers. His preferred targets were young women, often college students, who reminded him of an ex-girlfriend who broke his heart. What made Bundy so terrifying was not just the brutality of his crimes, it was how he lured his victims. He often pretended to be injured, wearing an arm sling or a fake cast, and asked women for help carrying something to his car. His charm disarmed them. They never suspected that inside his Volkswagen Beetle was a death trap. Bundy later confessed to killing at least 30 women, though many believe the number was much higher. He also managed to escape custody twice. In 1977, he slipped out of a courthouse library during a trial break. Later that year, he escaped from jail through a hole in the ceiling. His final spree in Florida included the infamous attack at the Chi Omega sorority house at Florida State University. In just 15 minutes, Bundy bludgeoned and strangled 2 women and attacked several others. The savagery of that night shocked the nation. Bundy was finally captured and executed in January 1989. Outside the prison, crowds cheered and held signs that read, "Burn Bundy, burn." Even decades later, Bundy's name still sparks debate. Some see him as a manipulative monster, others as a chilling warning that evil can wear a friendly face. He was not a shadowy figure hiding in the dark. He was the guy who could have lived next door. Now let us step back to Victorian London in 1888. The streets of Whitechapel were shrouded in fog. Crime was rampant, and poverty left many women vulnerable. That year, fear gripped the East End because a killer was on the loose. He was never caught. His name became infamous: Jack the Ripper. Between August and November 1888, at least 5 women were brutally murdered. They became known as the canonical 5 victims: Mary Ann Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Jane Kelly. Their murders were marked by shocking violence and precision that suggested medical knowledge. The killer taunted police and the public with letters signed Jack the Ripper. These letters, along with the horrific nature of the crimes, fueled a media frenzy and terrorized the city. Despite widespread panic and one of the largest manhunts in British history, the Ripper vanished without a trace. The mystery is part of what makes Jack so chilling. He could be anyone: a doctor, a butcher, or a wealthy man blending in with high society. Over the years, theories have ranged from royalty to local tradesmen. And even today, more than a century later, Jack the Ripper's identity remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in criminal history. The unknown factor is what terrifies people the most. It is not just the brutality of his crimes, it is the fact that someone could kill so violently and then disappear forever. It makes you wonder how many secrets history still hides. Now we move to the late 20th century, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Between 1978 and 1991, Jeffrey Dahmer committed crimes so disturbing they shocked the world. Dahmer murdered 17 young men and boys, and his methods revealed a darkness few could comprehend. Unlike Bundy, who thrived on manipulation and charm, Dahmer's motives were rooted in control and possession. He lured victims back to his apartment with promises of money or companionship. Once inside, he drugged them and committed acts that defied human understanding, including dismemberment and cannibalism. When police finally arrested Dahmer in 1991, what they found inside his apartment became the stuff of nightmares. Human remains, photographs of dismembered bodies, and tools used for his crimes. What shocked investigators even more was Dahmer's calm demeanor. He confessed in chilling detail, explaining his desire to keep his victims with him forever. He said it was about control and loneliness, not rage. That glimpse into his mind left psychologists and the public horrified. Dahmer was sentenced to 15 consecutive life terms, but in 1994, another inmate beat him to death in prison. Even decades later, Dahmer's case still sparks questions. Was he born a monster, or was he shaped by circumstances? His story has inspired documentaries, movies, and even debates about how society missed the warning signs. How did a man with such disturbing behavior go unnoticed for so long? Bundy, Ripper, and Dahmer share something beyond their crimes. They force us to confront uncomfortable truths about human nature and society. Bundy exploited trust and charm. Jack the Ripper thrived in the shadows of an indifferent system. Dahmer exposed the fragility of social awareness, hiding in plain sight for over a decade. Their stories endure because they tap into our deepest fears. The fear that the person next to us might not be what they seem. The fear that monsters do not hide under the bed, they walk among us. So now I want to hear from you. Which of these killers do you think is the most terrifying, and why? Is it Bundy, the charming predator? Jack the Ripper, the faceless phantom who vanished into history? Or Dahmer, whose crimes redefined horror? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I will be reading them.